guys, it's M4J here and welcome back to Transport Fever 2. Now, if everything's gone to plan, you should hopefully be watching this immediately after the M4J network. If you're not, for whatever reason, then either I've messed up or you just happen to be watching it at a different time, which is absolutely fine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You're probably not going to understand any of the references unless you've already watched the M4J network episode first. I might put a link in the description actually to that so that you guys can go and watch it. Anyway, that's not a me right now problem to worry about. That's a me in the future problem to worry about. Welcome back then to the M4J network and welcome to a major rebuild. We're at that stage of life where the network that we've built here so far is just no longer sufficient. Particularly this section here through M4J Junction. It just doesn't work basically. It did work for a while and it was very nice and very good, but with these new passenger trains that I've put in, it became very, very obvious that they were waiting around a lot for access to some of these stations and bits of track and things like that. So I think the plan is to try and make as much of this line now for track, and then the stations will have to adapt as a result of that. Obviously slower tracks on the outside, faster tracks on the inside, and that meant a redesign here of M4J Junction Station. Most importantly, to the layout of the platforms, which is what you see me doing here. So in each direction now there is a slow platform, a fast platform and a through platform, which means in total there are 4 through tracks where there are no platforms. There are I'm trying to do the maths in my head, 8 stopping tracks in each direction. Not in each direction, sorry. 8 stopping tracks in total, 4 in each direction. Obviously you've got the 2 branches as well. And then we've got the bay platform on the westernmost side in the direction we're looking now, which is for the Luton to Newton Aycliffe, like I would say shuttle, but it's not really a shuttle, it's quite a long journey. But you know the one I mean, the steel stopper that we built like 4 episodes ago now. Because of this new design, there is actually a new branch line / main line that will be added in the not too distant future to the network, and it will run down the east coast of the map. So from here, it'll probably run down through Gravesend actually, which will make Gravesend Station itself fairly redundant. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, as it were. There's also the fact that here you can see these roads. I wanted to try and avoid crossing these roads on a flat junction. I wanted to try and make it a little more convenient, shall we say. Turns out it's a very expensive thing to do because we're climbing up from the river, so we're going up anyway, and then we're having to go up again. And some of the trains actually struggle to get up this slope now. That was always going to be an issue at this stage of the game. As we get more powerful locomotives, it becomes less of an issue, but for now it is kind of an issue and it's kind of annoying. There is a solution, which is to have some trains double-headed, but that's very, very expensive. So I think for now we're just going to have to leave it, put some more signals in to try and keep trains moving, but otherwise we'll just accept the problem for what it is. Same issue at this side actually. You see there the station was sticking out at the ground quite a lot at this southern end, and pretty much all tracks at the moment sort of dip down as they leave the station. That's not a huge problem. In fact, the London Underground does have, especially on the Victoria line, they're called hump stations, where the arrival and departure tracks actually slope down away from the station. It helps with acceleration when you're leaving the station, and it helps with braking when you're arriving at the station. So I think overall it's actually a pretty good thing. But my voice is croaky. Again, if you've watched the M4J network, you'll know exactly what that means. I might try and actually go back and cut out that cough, because that's not very good. If I do forget, again, I apologise. But yeah, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so when you're in the whatever year we're in now, are we still in the 1800s? I think we are. And you've got humped stations. It's not the biggest issue in the world. Trains do, as I say, accelerate faster, but it makes getting up the hills a bit of a challenge. So that might be something we have to factor in as well. We'll see. You can see the design here for the ins and the outs. So the innermost platforms are the express platforms, The outermost platforms are the all stopping platforms, and then the through tracks in the middle. And the idea is both sets of platforms join up to the through tracks, rather than the through track comes across to join up with one of the other tracks. It's a bit like the design of the stations on High Speed 1 here in the UK, where the Eurostar goes one way and the Javelin goes the other way. Javelins tend to stop on the inside of the tracks, the inside platforms, and then the Eurostars stop on the outer ones. I think that's the case at most of the stations. It would have been the case at Stratford if Stratford had Eurostar platforms, which it doesn't. Ebbsfleet, I believe, is the case though, and I think Ashford is kind of a weird one because it's such a weird station design. I still can't work out. I've been there multiple times at multiple times of day on the train, and I still can't for the life of me work out how that station is actually laid out. I might have to look at it on a map or something. But yeah, this is the new main line that I was talking about that's being built here, and this section here is the new arrival and departure tracks that join up with the main line that we're currently working with. So you can see I really need the new design of bridge, because building these bridges across these tracks here is an absolute headache. And you can see I was really struggling, and you get this weird design there where like half the bridge is missing. And it's not something I'm particularly a fan of. So we rebuild these bridges quite a few times to try and make it work. And also the fact that bridge pillars encroach on the tracks there as well. I don't really know why that's a thing. I don't know why that's been made the way it has. It's very frustrating. It's very annoying. I wish the bridge pillars were a bit more dynamic in how they actually connect up to to the track and to other bridge structures and to embankments and things like that. It doesn't really feel like it works very well still. And I mean, it's an aesthetic thing, don't get me wrong. It doesn't affect the performance of the game in any way, shape or form. But it's very annoying when it doesn't work as I would like it to. Because at the end of the day, I build my networks on this game at least through aesthetics, and if they don't look very good, then I'm not really liking them. No other way of saying it, really. Trying to think of a way of saying it where it doesn't make me sound shallow, but basically if they're ugly, I'm not interested. That's the issue I have with this game. There's a lot of other things that I wish would work differently on this game. I really feel like some of the trains are too expensive as well. Like I was looking, so the base game vehicles aren't, but some of the modded ones, I know they're more powerful and things like that, but I'm wondering if there's like a base cost mod like there is in OpenTTD, where I can actually go in and make these trains a bit cheaper, because boy are they expensive. And also boy was this tunnel built too deep, and that's an issue that I had to fix as well. I like these like dive under things that we've got here though. They actually look pretty cool when they work, which they don't always do. But this one seems to work, and I also built that as a double track tunnel when I didn't need to. You can kind of see how this station is taking shape now as well, which is nice. I think I got a screenshot of this. I think I got a screenshot of the actual station for the thumbnail. So if you want to see what the overall design looks like, you might have to wait till next week's episode, I'm afraid. And hopefully there's an episode next week. Again, I said this in OpenTTD, but apologies for lack of uploads recently. There is an explanation for it. Me being ill doesn't help. I've not even been able to do voiceovers for work. I've had to get my colleagues to help me out there. Thankfully, Toby stepped in and was awesome. But yeah, I did say on the Discord that these episodes were supposed to be uploaded last week, and I was going to do a double header at the weekend, and then just had no voice all weekend. I was out all day Friday anyway, but I just had no voice. So apologies for that. I keep saying I'll try and stockpile videos, and I will try and stockpile videos. But I've got quite a busy day today, and I'm quite busy over the weekend, so that might not end up being the case. But yeah, I will try and find a way so that I don't miss uploads. Let's put it that way. I will try and find a way. And also, apologies if I'm sniffing through this as well. As I said, I've got to try and find that cough now and isolate it so you guys don't hear it. If you didn't hear a cough so far in the video and you're wondering what I'm talking about, then I guess I succeeded. But yeah. So yeah, crossovers. That's something else I wanted to talk about. So you can see already that the throat of this station on the south side is starting to look quite complicated. And basically it's split in half. So the express platforms, or the express tracks, do the switch over on the south side, and then the slow lines do the switch over on the north side. It's not something I'm hugely happy with. And in fact, if I was to rebuild this now, I would make the northeastern tracks here that I've just demolished. I'd make them 4-track and have them run side by side, and then do the crossovers the other side of the river. Because I feel like I pinned myself in a bit too much with the design here, and you'll see very quickly, like, this crossover I'm about to build here is not very pretty. And what I should have done was just had it run alongside excuse me, had it run alongside the other bridge to begin with, and then on the other side of the river then do like an elaborate crossover and try and make it look nice. Because ultimately this failed quite a bit, which wasn't very good. But yeah, I mean, the excuse me, the overall station design I'm very, very happy with. I think it's come out very, very well. I'm looking forward to seeing lots and lots of trains running through it. One of the problems I have on OpenTTD, which is quite rightly pointed out, is I have more platforms than trains right now, and have more track than trains. That was never the plan, it's just how it's evolved. The plan for this network is to have more trains than track, and then have to rebuild things to try and make it all work. That to me is more of a challenge, and it's what I like doing more. God, I wish I had my mute button set up on this headset, but I don't right now. So my voice might get worse as this video goes on. But yeah, have more trains than track, and then slowly upgrade the network to meet the demand. That's how I used to play OpenTTD as well, believe it or not. Then I started trying to future-proof everything as I was building it, and we ended up in this situation now where, you know, you've got like 6,000 miles of track per train, and it got a bit out of hand, a bit ridiculous. But yeah, this crossover here, I mean, overall this video was about an hour long before I started speeding it up for this time lapse, and I think like 20 minutes of it was me trying to build this junction here. And this is just one side of it. In a minute you'll see me try to build the other side, trying to cross over those tracks as well, and it becomes a bit of a nightmare. There is a question actually. I don't know if it's just because it's navigable waters or whatever, but I couldn't build an embankment on that little section of track there coming off that bridge, and I'm trying to work out what was going on there. So I wanted to have the embankment as close to the water's edge as possible, so that when we bridge over here, we have as much space as possible, which is why I was talking about excuse me, it would have been smarter to do it on the other side of the river, but I guess that was too easy. I suppose that was too easy. And then again, these bloody bridge pillars not lining up properly. I do get it to work in the end there. This is quite a modern flyover that I've built there. The one in and out of King's Cross springs to mind, and also out of Welland Garden City. So there are real life examples of these flyovers, but at the same time not in the 1800s. I think the one on the East Coast Main Line at the southern end at least was built in the 50s or 60s, I believe. I think that's right. I might be wrong still with that. It's around about that time. It's one of the reasons why the eastern bore of the gasworks tunnel can't be fully extended right up towards the Emirates Stadium. It's because of that flyover. Why they can't just move the flyover, I don't know. Not a clue. Excuse me. God, I must sound awful today. I must sound really awful today. I'm kind of not looking forward to the premiere because I'll be cringing during this. Yeah, I'm ill. I'm getting better, but I'm ill. So there's the second side of the flyover there. I think I do turn it into an embankment again in a little bit, because I needed to. That's the other thing that I don't like. When two bridges join to become a double track like that, the side rails, the guide rail, not the guide rails, the side bits. I can't remember what they're called. The walls either side basically overlap, and it looks really bad. And you'd think the fact that bridges can run side by side and then branch off like that, you'd think they would work on the aesthetics for where they join, but apparently not. So that's one of my feature requests, if they're still taking requests, is maybe work on the way bridges join up again, so we don't have that as an issue. Yes, this is the other good bit about today. So I remember saying last episode or the episode before that those two goods stations were too close to each other and the junctions were causing problems, and I wanted to try and fix that. This is my solution to that problem. At the moment, I think it's just called Newton Aycliffe Annex, but it's a brand new freight station that has been designed to basically take out both of those other stations. So it's a 3-platform station, central tracks in the middle to allow passenger trains to just bypass, or freight trains that aren't stopping to completely bypass. And then we have the leftmost platform, looking at it now, I think is for drop-offs for the steel mill. And then the rightmost platform, I think, is for plastic pickup. I'm trying to remember what gets dropped off here now. Basically, every platform has a purpose, and I think I do. Do I actually add an extra? No, I don't think I do add an extra platform. Maybe I do. I can't remember now. But yeah, both those stations have been replaced by this single station, and it works really, really well, so I'm quite happy with that. And then we got some crossovers here as well to help deal with everything there. And then we got some more crossovers here to help deal with everything there. And this should all work now pretty well. Fingers crossed. It has been tested. You know, I have run trains since I recorded this episode, and they seem to be working fine, so I'm going to guess that that is the case. Getting these crossovers in as well. I thought once you got one crossover in, it was easy to get the opposite one in, but apparently not the case. No idea why that is, but yeah. And it's also all been auto-signaled now as well, the routes, so it's all set up and ready to go. And it's pretty good, it's pretty effective. This is me here now trying to like reroute trains and stuff. I can't remember, I think I do delete these crossovers again and rebuild them, because I was trying to see how to get tracks from like one side to the other. There we go, like that. And then you turn that into a double slip, and then you build the crossover in the other direction, and then you realise you can't, so you have to build it over here instead. And yeah, basically everything is connected up and it does work. One freight train has to go through the slow platform and then cross over. I was always expecting one to have to do that anyway, and it wasn't a big deal. I tried to make it so that wasn't the case, but it wasn't really working out. We are relying a little bit more on trucks again now, though. So from the goods factory down to this station, we've got goods being brought by a road. We've got iron ore gets taken and coal on 2 separate lines. Gets taken from the station here to the steel mill. Steel is then brought back. Steel is brought back because we do have a steel train that goes up to Harrow, I believe, or Hereford. I think it's Harrow. And then the plastic train gets brought in here as well. Then we have plastic that's taken up to the goods factory. Everything should be connected and everything should be working, both for freight and passenger. And then we've got loads of new road vehicles that do sort of the last leg of the journey, as it were. It hasn't changed anything, so the steel still gets predominantly brought to the station here and then transported by train rather than going by road to the goods factory. I don't know what that means in terms of goods production. I think we're still okay. If there is an issue at all, then we'll do something about that, of course. But yeah, overall, I think it all works pretty well. The new station looks great. I'm really a big fan of that. I am tempted to build like a bus station outside it, but at the same time, I don't want to make Newton Aycliffe docks redundant. So it's a case of managing how vehicles are, how passengers are transported to and from Newton Aycliffe. I do have the mod. I think I mentioned this last episode. I do have the mod now where if you you add one vehicle to a passenger line, not including trains, passenger, air, and ship. So basically buses, planes, and ships, all passenger transporting. Sorry, not travelling. Then the mod does detect whether the line needs more or less vehicles and adjusts accordingly. So it will buy new vehicles or it will sell old vehicles that it doesn't need. It works on some lines, but not all. I think part of the problem is the one I tested it on was the brand new line that we built last episode, and it works well on that one. It works very well. But some of the existing lines, I think I have to delete the lines and then remake them, and then add a single vehicle, and then I think it works. Because I tried to use it on the Gravesend trams, and I don't think that worked very well. So we might have to go back to the drawing board on that one. It might just be a case of I go in the game one day and just remake the lines, and then buy one vehicle and add it, and then it should like kick into gear and actually start working. We'll see. We will see. In terms of the finances, this was an expensive project. You saw me take out a significant bank loan. I think it's like £7 million I took out to get this done. I think I actually extend that loan even more off camera to get a couple more things done. I think there was a line that I forgot to build and some vehicles I forgot to add. I think it is starting to pay off though. Every time I do a project on this game, I've got my heart in my mouth, hoping it isn't a massive mistake. So far it's not. I've been quite lucky, although I had to restart the series twice, as you know. But hopefully now it's okay. Doesn't mean I'm out of the woods just yet, but so far so good. I'll keep an eye on it and see how it goes. But yeah, I think we're all right. I think we're all right. And you can just see I'm doing the road vehicles here now. So we've got. I was wondering if I could do iron ore and coal on the same road vehicle, but I thought I'd just make one dedicated to coal and one dedicated to iron ore. Keep things split up as much as possible. Although we do have some traffic issues getting in and out of some of these stations, so I do extend the truck stations just to stop that being a thing. And I also built a second connection. I think you'll see me do that in a second as well. And a second... do I do it now? Yeah, I think I do it now. Second connection and a second truck stop on the eastern side of the station here as well. Just to... first of all, I needed an extra platform anyway for one other train that I forgot stopped here. And then also have a... excuse me, a truck stop dedicated solely to the goods factory. So you don't have to cross the railway each time, because it's just a longer journey and it's a bit inconvenient. There we go. So stuff gets dropped off and picked up from these two truck stations. You see me rerouting them now, and now it works even better than it did before. So that pretty much brings me to the end of this episode. There are lots of things that I want to do in this this series, and especially this save right now, most of which I can't do right now because I don't have the money. If anyone knows any shortcuts to getting money in this game without using a money cheat, obviously, then do let me know in the comments down below. I would like to build up funds off camera, but at the same time, this isn't a game that you can just leave running, because you progress through the time so fast. You end up with you know, future trains, and I don't want to unlock future trains yet. I want to do that on camera. So if there's a better way to get money in this game, whether it's like a specific type of cargo, whether it's you know, a specific journey, a specific distance, completely ignore what I'm doing on screen right now, by the way. Tried to build a balloon loop and it was just an epic fail. Excuse me. If you've got any ideas anyway for how to make money fast, please do let me know in the comments down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. I just want to build up money right now so that I can get on with these projects that I want to build. I want to extend the passenger line, and then from that extend the freight lines. I want to bring oil into this as well. If you've just watched the M4J network, I won't go over that all over again, but you'll know where I'm going with that. Having an oil industry is never a bad thing at the end of the day, and there are lots of towns around this part of the map that actually demand fuel, so it'd be good to get the majority of that up and running as well. But yeah, that pretty much does it from me. You'll see me finishing off the building work here, and again, you'll have to excuse some of the awful junctions that I'm about to build and fail to build and then rejig and things like that. I tried, but it wasn't particularly pleasant to watch. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series so far. Drop some comments down below with ideas for future episodes, and again, if you've got any money making tips, feel free to let me know down below. Other than that, if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. It really does help me out. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support, and thank you as well for sticking around during the absence, shall we say, over the last couple of weeks. I will explain what's been going on. It's very bad, very bad time management on my side as well as being ill. But yeah, thanks for watching once again. Have a good week. I'll see you all next week, hopefully. But until then, I will see you soon.